2004 Nissan Maxima. We're gonna do a diagnostics here and probably a repair on the valve body itself. It's doing what all the Maximas do. We do have the check engine light on. Check engine light is on, and let's go ahead and do a diagnostics on this. So I'm in Asian. I'm using my Autel DS708. We go to Nissan. Set this over here. Got the vehicle running. It's communicating with the vehicle. We're gonna go to control unit. I could do an auto scan, but I mean that will give me all the codes for all the modules that the scan tool will ping. And if it gets a response from the module, if it has any codes, it'll display it. But for now, I'm gonna do automatic transmission. System ID 81. I'm gonna press OK. I'm gonna read codes to see what's stored in it. Pressure control solenoid C stuck on. Automatic transmission torque converter clutch solenoid function. Now this second trouble code here, it could be a defective solenoid, or it could be that the bushings inside the transmission they got worn out and they actually spun, and they're no actually where they're supposed to be, and it will give you a pressure loss through there. So we could have a bad bushings in this transmission, AW55-51SN, or we could have a stuck solenoid. As you see here, this is not a circuit code. It's a TCC solenoid function. It's not functioning correctly, and we have pressure control solenoid C stuck on, which means that we could have some hard upshifts and downshifts, which this is what it's actually doing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and escape, and I'm going to go to the engine side and see what trouble codes we have there. Establishing communications. Vehicle is running. Go ahead and read codes. P0797, refer to vehicle service manual. Okay, we're gonna research that code and see what we'll see what definition that is. Okay, I'm going to show you guys an app. That way you don't have to go to any service manual or look to any troubleshooter or anything. I got my phone right here, and I have here on this corner that it says Task Mobile. Okay, so I'm going to press on that, and it checks trouble code. So I'm going to go check trouble code, and we have a P0750-797. Okay. At 797 trouble code. Now we're going to check code. Pressure control solenoid C stuck on. So I mean, this is a great app to have. I mean, you just download it on your phone. Mac, it's from Mac Tools. I mean, I've had this for a while. That way you don't have to be searching around. I mean, if it's a P0 code, that's a generic code, and it will display it. If it's a P1, I mean, it might not, but it does display the P2 codes. I mean, this is a P0797. And that's exactly the same code that we have on the transmission itself. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the fluid condition. It shows a little bit low. And it's a little bit, it's clean, but it's brown. Let me dip it again. Now it does show some fluid on the dipstick, and that's the way Maximas are. For some reason, you take it out and it shows that it's low, and then you dip it again and it shows partially full. But we can see the condition of the fluid. I mean, the fluid looks in good shape, so probably it's going to end up being solenoid issues here. So once we get into this thing, we'll know. Okay, so let's go for a test drive. Okay, we just took off from a stop. It has a good second gear, a little bit firm third gear. The solenoid that I have highlighted in blue is the one that is giving us the trouble code. Right now, it's been running for 15 minutes, so it's not hot enough. It's not acting up. We just came to another stop again, and we're going to take it to the highway, see what the converter clutch feels like. Okay, we took the highway. We're in fourth gear. That's fifth gear. That's torque converter clutch. So torque converter clutch did good. It applied good. So that's an indication that my bushings are okay, and we have a solenoid issue. It's not warm enough yet, but I can already feel some bumps on it. Let me see the tachometer here. 85. It actually drives good, but once we go to the little streets again, we're going to start feeling those hard upshifts and hard downshifts, and that's an indication of a solenoid sticking. And what we do in this situation, either we repair the solenoids, or we actually replace the solenoids with Rostra solenoids. But if we do Rostra solenoids, we have to adjust them as well. Okay, so it's acting up. Yeah. We're going to upshift up to third gear. Okay, go. Upshift up to third gear. That's second. That's third. And usually here, it'll cut loose. It cut loose, but it didn't hit hard. A while ago, it did hit hard. So that's solenoid problem. We're going to go back to the shop, and we're going to take the pan off, remove the valve body. We're going to install the transgo shift kit in this thing, and do a re-road test. I'm not going to film the transgo shift kit installation. Yeah, it slips. It slips hard, so once we go back to the shop, we're going to go fix this solenoid and install a transgo kit. Okay, so here I have already the valve body removed, and one thing you need to pay attention to is those two seals that you see there, and make sure that those two seals do not fall off into the case. If they do fall off into the case, then you need to find some O-rings that would fit that, and one is for low reverse and the other one is for lubrication. So just make sure that those two seals are there. So we are still working on this Maxima. Valve body's right here. I'm going to take it to my bench, and I'm going to go ahead and do the shift kit on it, and we go from there. Alright guys, well here I have the valve body right already on my bench. Go ahead and get this thing out of the way, and I mean, it looks like it's been probably the pan removed. I mean, this is the factory. It's been scraped off. It's been off before for some reason. Go ahead and flip this thing over. Now here are the solenoids, and these are the very common issue on this unit is this three solenoids here. They get stuck with debris in there, and they get stuck. As you saw, that the car was working good cold, and once it warmed up, it started acting up. And actually, I did not film this, but when we went back to the shop, we were at the parking lot, and we made a turn to the parking lot. It was going from first and second. It was shuttle shifting from first to second. Let me see here. Channel 1, I'm gonna put it in ohms. Okay. And these are in between 5 to 6 ohms resistance, the solenoids. It'll be easier if I take them off, but let's see if I can get a reading here right quick. I have it way too high. Let's see here. 50 ohm. This is the clutch pressure control solenoid. As we see, it's 5.3 ohms. This is my line pressure control solenoid, or SLT solenoid, and 5.5 ohms. So we had a pressure control solenoid C stuck off. This is our torque converter clutch solenoid, and we are at 5.3 ohms. So our resistance on these 3 solenoids is good, and the vehicle working good cold, that's an indication that those solenoids, they are electrically sound, they're in good shape. So what I'm going to do now is remove them, take the caps off, and then I'll show you which is going to be stuck. It's going to be these 2 right here, actually all 3, since we had a torque converter clutch solenoid circuit code, or not a circuit, but performance code. Okay, so we had pressure control solenoid C performance. I already took the caps off all the 3 solenoids here. I'm going to pick up the blue one. It's the line pressure control solenoid, and as you see, I already took it off, and it's not sliding out. It should have already come off. This is the shift pressure control solenoid, and this one does come out. So this is not the culprit here. This is what you should see. And this is our torque converter clutch pressure control solenoid, and I mean, it's getting hung up a little bit, but it's not as well. Right here it stops, and I mean, inside of the solenoids there are little bushings. Here's one bushing, and there's another one further down inside. So there's 2 bushings here. They do get contaminated with debris, and this right here tends to stick. And you know, metal with heat, it expands, so it actually restricts the movement of this pintles here. This is the shift pressure control solenoid, which is the green one, and the blue one, it's the line pressure control solenoid, which is, this is really stuck. Let's go ahead and try and take it out. Yeah, I felt something there. It released, but it's still getting a little bit hung up. All right, I'm gonna work on these solenoids. The reason I do a shift kits on this, I mean, Rostrel solenoids are available. I do my testing. If I figure out that, I mean, I do have a circuit, electrical circuit malfunction on one of these solenoids, then I'll put them all new. Otherwise, I'll just get a Transgo kit and install it. It comes with 2 valves. One is a solenoid regulator, and I mean, it comes with a lot of information as well. I mean, if you don't know these units yet, I mean, I do a lot of these units. I mean, I know exactly where everything goes, but I mean, it's got, you know, the shift valves and what each of the valves go. I mean, it's a very nice kit. There's a lot of information here, and I mean, you have those 2 valves. One is a solenoid relay valve, and the other one I think is a solenoid regulator. Let me see if I can find them here. Yeah, they're on this page. Install new LRC sleeve and valve, lockup relay valve. So one is for the torque converter. We were having a torque converter code, and the other one is a solenoid relay valve and plunger. All right, well, let me work on this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then we're gonna go back to the car We're going to put our pressure gauge on it. We're going to adjust this blue solenoid. We are looking for a minimum of 5 pounds of pressure with the vehicle hot. I mean, I do them somewhere around 7 and 10 pounds. I mean, they work perfectly well there, but I mean, 5 pounds is the minimum. All right, well, let me go ahead and do this thing, finish this thing up, and we go back to the car. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you're done with this. Once you're finished with your valve body, this is what it looks like. All the 3 linear solenoids and all 5 on-off solenoids. Now we take it to the car and we take this little gasket. This little gasket goes right here. That's it, man. We just put this thing back on. Make sure that your manual valve is there, and install it, and we go from there. If you, I do have a video on the installation of this shift kit. You can go to my channel and look for it. But I am going to put a link to the description on the description down below. So that way you can just click on it, and then it'll take you straight to the video. I think we're ready to go to the car. Okay, so we're going to do the valve body installation, and you always want to just kind of keep an eye on the latch here that goes on the for the manual valve. Get your wires out of the way, kind of sit it in here, and reposition the linkage on the hole. It's a little tricky to do, but it is doable. Okay, now that you're in the hole, just sit the valve body on there, and let me see, it feels like, yeah, okay, yeah, we are in. Now let's start this bolt right here. Just start it up. And I'm going to go ahead and install the rest of the bolts. And I think yeah, let me install the rest of the bolts and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I got 2 more bolts, and I have this little cover here and our new gasket on the cover. I'm going to go ahead and install this right here. I'm going to go ahead and do my connections. My SLS solenoid is the very top one. Then run our wires through here. Now we have our temperature sensor, and our temperature sensor has a little bracket, a hold down bracket, which is this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my bracket there, put it in the hole. There we go. Put a bolt there, and I have another bolt that goes right on top of that, which is this. Before I do my connections, I need to install all these bolts. Now let's go ahead and tighten them up. Not going in. Make sure that you thread them first, and I thought I did thread them all. Got to wiggle the valve body. Let's see. Let me check and see what's going on here. Yeah, it wiggles. Okay, now we can do our connections. Let's go ahead and connect our pressure control solenoid, shift pressure control. The black connector goes here. Just make sure you don't get it mixed up, because I see this very common that the connectors get misconnected. So there we have it. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the pan, and we go for a test drive. I'll install my pressure gauge and see what our pressures are going to be at. Okay, so we are done with this vehicle. I have my pressure gauge installed right here in this location. That's my test pan, the one that has the 3-axis hole. I've already adjusted my solenoids. I use my old Vantage with pressure transducer, and I'm looking for a minimum of 5 pounds. Here is my transducer. Minimum of 5 pounds. I did this at almost in between 9 and 11. It fluctuates a little bit, and it's working perfectly well. I'm going to go ahead and remove the test pan that I have installed right there and install the original pan, and we're done with this vehicle.